Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets is the second installment in the Harry Potter series. It was released in 2002, and just like the last film, it was directed by Chris Columbus and stars Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, Emma Watson, and just like the last film, was based off the book of the same name, written by J.K. Rowling. The film takes place about 3 months after the first movie ended. Harry Potter is getting very excited for his next year at Hogwarts, School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. And while he has been moved to a much larger bedroom, so he's not sleeping in a cupboard anymore, the Dursleys are still being as cruel to him as ever. And the fact that the Dursleys are absolutely mistreating him makes him all the more excited to return to Hogwarts. However, on the day before he leaves, he is told by a mysterious elf named Dobby, who tells Harry that he is to not return to Hogwarts due to making predictions of evil things coming his way. But he ignores Dobby, and with the help of Ronald Weasley, he makes his way to Hogwarts for his second year, and as he returns to Hogwarts, he soon comes to realise that a lot of Dobby's predictions are coming true. The first 10 minutes of this movie are fantastic. They really do a great job of re-establishing the main character very, very quickly, as well as making you feel sorry for him, just mainly due to the way that the Dursleys are mistreating him. Not only that, but to try and prevent Harry from returning to Hogwarts, Dobby is going out of his way to frame Harry for doing stuff that he's really trying to prevent. For example, the scene with the cake. Harry tells Dobby that he is going to return to Hogwarts and nothing is going to stop him. So, to basically punish him, Dobby basically uses a magical telekinesis to make a cake levitate and drops the cake over the guest that the Dursleys are having over at the time. While this is happening, Harry is trying to follow the cake and trying to put his arms under the cake because he's not allowed to use magic outside of Hogwarts. So he's trying to catch the cake and he tries to put his hands under the cake, but he's ever so slightly too late and the cake drops. And Dobby turns invisible, and so Harry gets the blame. That's slimy but one thing that's fascinated me about Chamber of Secrets in particular is the fact that despite the fact that it's based off the second shortest book in the entire series, Chamber of Secrets is actually the longest movie of the series, clocking in at nearly 3 hours long. Chamber of Secrets also benefits for having something that the Philosopher's Stone unfortunately lacked, and it may have something to do with the fact that it was really just the introduction. It had a sense of urgency. Now yes, there was definitely some serious conflict in the climax of the Philosopher's Stone, but there really wasn't a sense of urgency. The thing I really love about Chamber of Secrets is that every single scene feels important, even in the extended cut. The movie is 3 hours long. It felt like 1 hour and 30 minutes. There's a lot more at stake in Chamber of Secrets than there was in Philosopher's Stone. Kids are being petrified to the point where they're frozen stiff. Rumours about the Chamber of Secrets are spreading, and the fact that very, very dark history about Hogwarts is about to repeat. Not only are the stakes higher, but Chamber of Secrets is also slightly darker than the Philosopher's Stone. Like the fact that the movie is a little bit scarier than the first one. Like the scenes where the Basilisk is talking to Harry, and they're sort of communicating psychologically, and it comes through the sound of whispers. Now those scenes are creepy. Or the scene in the Forbidden Forest where Harry and Ron encounter hundreds and hundreds of spiders. Or the climax when Harry finally enters the Chamber of Secrets. And I really love the set design. I praise the set design in Philosopher's Stone, and it continues to shine here. I especially love what they do with the Chamber of Secrets. Another thing I also found rather fascinating is the fact that this movie at times is also quite violent for a PG. Harry is also very rootable in the movie. Not just because of Daniel Radcliffe's amazing performance, which I gushed about in my Philosopher's Stone review, but also his character is very well written, and the fact that a lot of the times, a lot of the characters are against him. I think this is especially notable with the scene with the Dursleys that I mentioned earlier. Or the fact that Harry and Ron almost get expelled from Hogwarts because when they try to get to Hogwarts, the seal closes up ever so slightly too early so they can't get through, and the only way they were able to get to Hogwarts was by breaking the school rules, and they nearly get expelled as a result. I don't think they were really wrongfully punished, like they did break the school rules, but to be fair, that is pretty rough. I feel sorry for you guys. But it's because of these unfortunate events that really allows you and the rest of the audience to really sympathise with Harry extremely quickly. It's also great to see Rupert Grint as Ronald Weasley and Emma Watson as Hermione Granger to return as well. These two are fantastic, And these three kids are, again, amazing together. They have such great chemistry. I can't get enough of these three kids. They are amazing. The film also has a large plethora of very, very entertaining sequences. I love the scene where Harry and Ron miss a train, and so they have to find their own alternate creative Weasley-like ways of trying to get back to Hogwarts. Not only does it really set up their characters and help them make them more sympathetic and rootable, but it's also a very, very entertaining sequence. And the Quidditch match. This is something I forgot to mention in my Philosopher's Stone review because I was really too busy talking about the rules and everything. But while I enjoyed the Quidditch match from Philosopher's Stone, the effects were pretty dated. While not amazing, the effects are definitely a lot better in the Chamber of Secrets than Philosopher's Stone. Not only that, but the Quidditch match, in my opinion, is a lot better choreographed than Chamber of Secrets. It's a lot more fast, it's a lot more frantic, and I just think that the Quidditch match in this movie is a huge improvement. The film is also very compelling. In this film, we get to learn a lot more about Voldemort. He was in Philosopher's Stone, but he really only made an appearance in like 3 scenes, and really in those 3 scenes he only really made small cameos. He's mentioned a bit in Philosopher's Stone, but we really don't get to see him. That's also true for this one. In fact, in this movie he only appears in 1 scene. But we get to learn a lot more about his backstory and what he's like. And the cast continues to shine in this movie. I've already gushed about how much I loved Harry, Ron and Hermione, so I'm going to talk about some of the other characters. For example, Draco Malfoy. He is a seriously well done character. He's written well and he's acted well. Because I thought he was bad in the Philosopher's Stone, but he somehow manages to be even worse in Chamber of Secrets. This is such a horrible kid. You really want someone to just put this kid to justice. Dumbledore, Hagrid and Snape also really continue to shine in their excellent performances. One character that is in the entire series that I didn't mention in my Philosopher's Stone review, however, is Professor Mcgonagall. I love this character. She just has such a warm, calm, comforting presence, especially in her voice. Her character was written well, but I also really do think it comes down to the nature of the actor playing her. Professor Lockhart is a joke in every sense of the word. He's inexperienced, he's completely incompetent, and he claims to have a very, very deep and detailed history of experience of defense against the dark arts, only to realize that he really doesn't know what he's doing and he's a coward. This is how I'm supposed to feel about the character, and it really does come into light due to his writing and his performance once again. Also, I hope I am not the only person who noticed this. However, am I the only one who really felt like that Hogwarts has a really, really serious reputation for having some of the worst defense against the dark arts teachers ever? I mean, there's only 1 or 2 good defense against the dark arts teachers throughout the entire series. I mean, every single year they keep on getting replaced because each previous one keeps on backfiring in some ways. Here's some examples that really give you what I'm talking about. In Philosopher's Stone, Quirrell ended up getting replaced because, well, besides he died. However, that was the case because he turned out to be a loyal servant for Lord Voldemort, he tried to steal the Philosopher's Stone, and he tried to kill Harry Potter. Twice. Lockhart, like I've already said, is a coward and incompetent, and he lies about his reputation when really he's really, really pathetic. The teacher of Goblet of Fire, once again, turned out to actually be a villain in disguise, and he also was working for Voldemort. And then there's Professor Snape, who is not that bad actually. Also, Lupin in Prisoner of Azkaban also was actually a pretty great teacher, despite his werewolf problem. Actually, I think the best defense against the dark arts teacher is actually Harry himself because of how much he teaches the other students in Order of the Phoenix. Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there is one defense against the dark arts teacher I have not yet mentioned. Dolores Umbridge from Order of the Phoenix. Let's just say we'll get to her when I review Order of the Phoenix, shall we? Moving on to more technical side of things, just like Philosopher's Stone, Hogwarts is captured exceptionally well. Once again, it's very warm, it's a very inviting and a very cozy movie. However, a smart eye will notice that there is something slightly off about Hogwarts in this movie. I think it may have something to do with both the color grading and the lighting. However, while it is warm and inviting, it's not quite as warm and inviting as it was in Philosopher's Stone. it really does have more of a cold, bitter feel to it. And while it's there, it's not as inviting as Philosopher's Stone, which I honestly feel like is not only a great way of really representing the darker tone of this movie, because this movie is darker than Philosopher's Stone, but it also feels like that this slightly darker colour grading is great foreshadowing about how dark we're going to get in future movies. But to balance the darkness out, this movie is once again warm and inviting, and there's also quite a lot of funny scenes. And this is especially illustrated through a character who made a cameo in Philosopher's Stone, but we don't really get to know her until Chamber of Secrets, and that's Molly Weasley, Ron's mother. And I love this character, especially due to her acting. She's this character that seems to have two personalities. Like, she starts off as all cute and sweet and nice and polite, but she can instantly turn around and be extremely aggressive and bitter, which makes her, at times, kinda scary. Another thing I didn't mention in my Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone review is John Williams' amazing score. I love it, I love it, I love it. It's not my favourite John Williams music, but it is still really, really good. It's nice and catchy, it's gotten stuck in my head a few times, and it's also nice and whimsical, and it also has that touching feeling of darkness. And I really feel like it does a great job representing the overall world. I love his music in this series. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets is a solid installment in the Harry Potter series, but in my opinion, it's not as good as the Philosopher's Stone. But while not as good as Philosopher's Stone, it is still a very, very solid movie, and I'm so glad that we have another good Harry Potter movie in this series. I'm going to give Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets an A. Thank you all for watching. I had a blast talking about Philosopher's Stone and Chamber of Secrets. Stay tuned for my review for Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, because this is where I think the series gets amazing. I cannot wait to talk about Prisoner of Azkaban with you, but until then, yippee-ki-yay, movie lovers!